Did you hear that? The 13th chime. It shouldn't exist, but we all know it's there, hiding behind the face of that demon clock. Once more it is time for the veil of shadows to be lifted. Once more it is time for the Hallow-Holics Anonymous podcast.
Live from an isolated peninsula, afraid to turn our backs on each other at any moment.
I'm Julianne.
I'm Chris.
I'm Madeline.
And I'm Jazlaan.
Tonight we're discussing. Does it have a name yet?
We don't have a name yet.
I've just heard of it always referred to as Battle Royale. That's whatever, like, you look up the genre, that's what the stuff is usually listed under.
Haven't they been calling it like a teenager apocalyptic something and other?
Well, that's overly complex.
Yeah, it's really like an intense thing, because I just tried to watch Maze Runner and it had the same...
Why don't we call it Adolescent Blood Sport?
Adolescent Blood Sport's good.
Yeah.
Like
All right, we've given it a name, and now it's gonna go viral.
Young adults post-apocalyptic science fiction trilogy. That's what it's called.
Like I said, Adolescent Blood Sport.
I like yours better.
Oh man, today we're gonna be talking about 3 things: Hunger Games, Battle Royale, and
The Future Diary.
Or say it by its other name, too.
Mirai Nikki.
Ah, Nihongo ga hanaseru ne.
Okay, that's not stupid.
You can't do subtitles on a podcast.
I said you can speak Japanese. What is it called? Mirai Ninki?
Mirai Nikki. Mirainikki.
Oh. And it's an anime?
Yes.
And yeah.
way to show off your Japanese learning skills, Jazlaan.
Only cost me $10,000. You know, I like to show them off sometime.
Next time you do that, I'm just going to respond with, hi.
We can trick everybody that way.
Hunger Games is really, really popular.
It is, and the books didn't even really come out that long ago.
Mm-mm.
Like if I was to look, I'm gonna look up when when the books came out.
I think the last book came out in
2006.
didn't it?
Yeah, 2006 was the first one. So actually earlier than when I was in community college. But yeah, the first one came out in 2006.
I guess Hunger Games kind of filled the void when Twilight was over.
I thought it filled my Harry Potter void.
Yes, that's how I found it to be.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe a little
yeah.
late, but
Harry Potter was
2010. Huh? Because I read all 3 when I was overseas in 2011, so I thought they came out in 2011. Huh.
I bet you there's a Battle Royale Harry Potter crossover somewhere out there. Fanfic.
Fanfiction.net.
Yeah.
Love it. I used to write Digimon fan fictions on there.
Oh, do you still have your account open?
No, oh gosh.
Did you delete it though?
I don't
Is
mean
it
to
still
judge.
on there?
No,
Was
they
it
might be up there
slash
actually. No, it was I used to write. This is way off topic, but I used to write Digi Knight. You would
Digi-Knight?
turn it. Yeah, your Digimon would become your armor, and you would.
Okay.
You shouldn't
Yeah.
have done. She is really, really good with Google, and she's on it right now.
I'm doing it too, girl. I want to find my old stories.
Well, I can't because I'm too hectic of a typer.
Yeah, Madeline is always like, I wonder if Madeline's typing.
Anyway, Adolescent Blood Sport.
Okay, so
The void of Harry Potter.
it did.
And Jazlaan wrote Digimon fanfiction. That's right.
I read the whole the first Hunger Games book in one night. It was really
Oh my gosh, is it that short?
no,
it
I'm
was
just
amazing.
dedicated.
It was really, really good.
Yeah, it was. First one's they're all good. I think some people kind of argue about the ending of without giving anything away. Kind of argue about what the ending to the series was, but I personally really liked the ending.
People always argue about endings to series.
That's true. Anytime there's things that happen.
Yeah. Like that ending to Harry Potter.
Okay, we can all talk about that.
I'm just glad Harry Potter died in the end because
I think we might as well just give a pretty big spoiler warning now. If we're going to talk about all of these series, we're going to spoil them pretty hard.
Yeah.
spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Prim dies.
Aw.
It was awful. It was heartbreaking. It's Beth all over again. Oh shit. We might want to edit that part out.
I'll
I
just keep it.
wasn't affected when that happened. I was more affected. I was more moved by Ruse.
Oh, are we
Ruse.
talking about the first book still? Sorry, I'm
No, I'm
going
talking about
straight
the
to
whole
the
series.
last one.
I'm talking about
Wait,
the whole
oh.
series.
I haven't seen anything past Catching Fire, so I swear to God I will murder anyone who ruins that for me.
No.
Well, yeah, Rue's
But he
death.
will.
I out of all the, because I've read all the books, so you don't need to worry about spoilers with me. But out of all the deaths, that one was the one that one and one character that I really liked too.
Tell you what, I will put on earmuffs. Wait, hold on.
Chris, I'm right here though. When
Nah,
Finnick
it's cool. I'm
died,
looking
I
at
was
it.
so
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, that one. That was what I was gonna say next too.
That one, oh, that one
Darn.
killed me.
Yeah.
I was so glad that like Joanna was my favorite character. So happy when she made it through to live her
I
miserable
love
life.
her in the movie. She got casted really well.
And
Oh,
you know
yeah.
when that girl spun around and her dress caught on fire, that was cool.
You saw that in the
Thanks,
trailer.
Madeline.
That's the only part
God.
I've seen.
You haven't seen it? You should watch
No.
it.
Shit.
What are we talking about?
She's talking about the dress catching fire.
Oh, yes.
I think they do that in like every. They're probably gonna do that in like every movie.
Did they do that in this one, the newest one?
Actually, they don't do it in the newest one. Now that I'm thinking about it.
And this makes
Well-
me a terrible person, I guess, but I'm always willing to read or watch stories about teenage British people, teenage Japanese people, teenage Swedish people, but not teenage Americans. I have
They're
no
not
interest in.
Americans.
But aren't they in like the Appalachians or something?
They are in America.
Yeah, so they must be Americans.
It's not. I don't
The-
think it's
the world's
set in America.
ended. Yeah, it is. There was a map that they showed where all the districts were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
Uh-huh,
do you
and
still
it was-
consider that in dystopia, though?
Dystopia, that's a good word. Hunger Games map.
See, that's what my problem is I no longer think of it as the United States.
Like, if there is no government to say it is the United States, is it still the United States?
Yeah.
Well, the region they come from, I still consider American. So,
Yeah, she does have like I believe a little bit of an accent, a little bit of a twang, or she's supposed to.
Yeah, look up Hunger Games maps and you'll see all these different maps that they have.
by the way, Jazlaan loves maps.
Does he?
He loves them.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, that was like your favorite thing about Battle Royale.
I may or may not have designed multiple maps and board games.
And an RPG.
Yes.
God, why would anyone want to live in the capital? Ugh.
Or is it?
Like
I guess it just depends on which one
the
you're looking at.
Midwest?
I
The
can't
Midwest
find them.
finally became useful.
It's not even like all the way in California. It's like right in there in the mountains.
I don't anyone want to live there.
So y'all aren't allowed to spoil the ending because of Chris now?
No, you can spoil the ending. Just let me know before you do that. Way I
Oh,
can
Chris
leave
knows
it
the
and cover my
ending.
ears.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
So
which ending?
was
Well,
her
he knows
death
the last-
fruitful?
Whose?
Prim's. Was it like a death that was pointless or?
No, it was good because it kind of did that thing like nobody's safe and what war would actually be like. I thought it was good and it was like it was a character developing moment too for Katniss. So I thought it was good. That's my opinion.
I'm afraid of spoiling anything.
No, it's fine. Chris he's not listening. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, as long as he's not listening then.
Yeah.
I was sad when she died, and especially because it basically destroys the relationship between her and what's his name?
Gale.
Gale, yeah.
God, I hated Gale so much.
Especially after that happened to Prim, right?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. I've hated him throughout I hated him throughout like the whole series. I don't know why.
I thought he was okay in the movies though.
Like I thought he was okay in the first book for the one page he was in there for.
That's true. He was in the movies a lot more, wasn't he?
Yeah. I just felt like he seemed really like in the movies to me. Here, Chris, you can talk about this. It's cool. He just seemed really entitled, and that really just bothered me.
It's because he's sexy.
He's too handsome.
Very, very sexy.
He's Thor's brother.
That makes sense.
As really? Oh, wow,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
A lot of people don't know that for some reason. Yeah, that's Thor's brother. He actually originally tried out for the role of Thor, I think.
He lost to his brother.
Yeah.
So Gale's not the one that Woody Harrelson plays, is he?
Oh my god. Yes.
Yes,
her
Abbott.
other love interest, Woody Harrelson.
Or that sex icon, Donald Sutherland?
You know what we all need to do? This topic fits wonderfully here. We need to all go play the Hunger Games on Minecraft.
Oh, there is. Oh my gosh.
So you basically start out on all the little, launching pads, and then the time counts down, and then you go and you run around the maps and kill people and collect weapons and have to eat food, and it's insane.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Don't
Yeah,
you
it's
do
good.
that on Minecraft anyway?
Yes, but now you're doing it against people.
In the context of Hunger Games.
In the context, that's really hard to say in the announcer voice. Play Minecraft in the context of Hunger Games.
It's a totally different kind of game, guys.
Except exactly the same. No, but it's
Creepers
really
are
cool.
good.
There's also they've taken out the mobs, I think, which I guess you should actually leave them in because there's monsters in Hunger Games, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Okay, so Hunger Games, movies, thoughts.
I've seen the first one twice, the second one once. I haven't seen the third one yet, but I do want to see it.
It's good. I really like it. Some people are complaining about it that it's like not enough happens in it, but like there's another movie coming out that's gonna have all the action in it.
Well, I think people are mostly mad because they split them in two again, and that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird. I actually wish the second movie would have been split in two, but they did a really good job with the second movie, so I ain't complaining.
It's
too
the thing
much.
to do now to split movies. They're doing it with Avengers. They did it with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Are they doing it with Avengers too?
They are doing it with the Avengers 3.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, one thing I want to say for anybody that watches the newest Hunger Games movie, Mockingjay Part 1, this is really, really amazing. Okay, Julianne Moore plays President Coin, right? When she's giving her final speech, she has something in her teeth.
Oh no, are you serious?
Seriously, she's got a black thing in the middle of her teeth.
Is it on purpose?
No. And
Oh,
it's amazing. The whole time she's giving this speech, trying to like rile everyone up, and she's got like this piece of black stuff in her tooth. And like nobody noticed that. I had to point it out to my friend during the movie. I said, "Look at her teeth. She's got something in her teeth." She goes, "Oh my god, she does have something in her teeth."
Gosh.
And like Katniss
I love
wears
Julianne
her
Moore, by the way.
ponytail pretty cool, doesn't she, guys? I'm
Can
sorry.
you have like a tumbleweed sound?
All right. Can you put a cricket there?
So I guess we should like talk about because like the main theme of it is this, the battle. You know, like the actual.
Some sort of Royale battle?
Yes, the actual games. We should probably talk about the actual games in it.
I love that there's a whole history behind all of them, you know?
Okay, quickly, lay out all the confusing rules in the simplest way as possible. ELI 5.
The rules of the game?
Yes.
Okay, so in their government, there was a huge war, right? War ended. It was split up into 12 districts. There's one capital, right? The capital is in charge of all the districts. All the districts work for the capital. So every year there's what is it called? A reaping? Reaping. And a boy and a girl from each district gets their name chosen out of a big jar, right? It's between ages 12 to 17, I believe.
12 to 18.
It's 12 to 18. Okay. So when they turn 12, their name goes in once. And then the next year, their name gets put in twice, and so on and so on. However, since most of the people in the districts are starving, you can get a bag of rice or something, but your name gets thrown in the jar again. The poorer people usually put their names in the jar more than once. The names get picked out, and then those people, in the boy and the girl from each district, they get sent into an arena, and it's videotaped for entertainment through all the districts and the capital to watch them all kill each other until there's only one person left. And they're usually in like environments like a desert or the woods or something like that.
Wasn't this all penance?
It was to punish them for their rebellion.
Yeah.
And also to entertain the rich, I can imagine.
Oh, of course, the people in the capital love it.
Oh, yeah. It's like a huge thing.
But this is for the first movie, it's the 74th Hunger Games. So this has been going on for 75 years.
Oh, one thing I read online is, you know the character Mags?
Mm-hmm.
She's supposed to be like 80, so she was actually she actually saw the first Hunger Games.
Does she like look back on fondness with it? Is she a good character, bad character?
She's a good character, and it's like she what happens is, you know, Katniss and Peeta, they pull a trick and they end up winning the Hunger Games together because it's only supposed to be one winner. And they decided in the end, since they were like from the same district and they'd worked together the whole time, they're like, oh, well, you know, we'll just kill ourselves, and then there'll be no winners. So they're like, oh, wait, never mind, guys. There's 2 winners this year. So the Capitol got mad, and all the previous victors got put in the arena for the
Ooh.
75th Hunger Games. And Mags is like this 80-year-old woman who volunteered for the other girl from her district.
What they introduced in the second book was something called the Quarter Quells, and every 25 years they have a Quarter Quell, and it's a special. So in the second book, the Quarter Quell special was that all the past victors had to be put into a jar and pulled out. The other 2 were what were they? Do you remember, Julianne?
For what?
The 25th and the 50th Hunger Games.
They never said what it was, actually.
Now,
Apparently on the Wikipedia it says, so in the 25th, the citizens of the districts had to vote on who would compete in the Hunger Games.
Oh my god.
From each district. Oh, that's intense.
That sucks.
this all sounds really complex. Does the information like come out slowly throughout the books, or do they give you a lot of dialogue in the very beginning explaining everything?
They don't really give you that much dialogue in the beginning. It's kind of like I just feel like you go along with it. I feel like they weren't cramming it down your throat when you were reading it. It was an easy to understand, I think.
Good pacing then.
Yeah, the pacing was really good, and the internal dialogue was really good, and stuff like that. So it made it easy to understand without feeling overwhelmed.
Haymitch was in the 50th Hunger Games, which was the second Quarter Quell, and it was double the size. So instead of 2 from each district, it was 4 from each district.
Oh, holy shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But what's her name? Katniss has a lot of characters that help explain stuff to her, and also since the book is written in the first person, everything that she thinks you read, so that's how you also get to learn the rules to the game.
Wow, that's really tricky because it's not easy to pull off first person and be engaging.
Was it first person? Is that when you're inside their head?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, y'all made a good point for Hunger Games. It sounds pretty good. How would you compare the movies to the books?
Really good, I think.
Yeah, it was a good adaptation. I was a little concerned about it at first, just because, I think the books definitely are a little bit more gruesome.
Better?
Well, obviously they're better, but it's more gruesome because it's rated PG-13. You can't see every, death and how brutal it is. Chris and I were talking about that the other day, actually.
Yes.
Because he was asking me if I thought the PG-13 rating was limiting to it. I don't think it was. Did you think it was? Cat?
No. I don't really think there was much blood, was there? I don't think you would call it limiting, especially because you have to. I think that the American children that were reading it after losing Harry Potter were not interested in the bloodiness. They were more interested in the angst between Katniss and her 2 boyfriends. I can't remember the name of.
Peeta and Gale.
Yes, Peeta. I hate Peeta.
I thought it was a good love triangle, personally.
Fuck off, Peeta.
You're angsty.
Oh, I loved him. He was a great character.
He's a great character.
Now, did Peeta turn into a wolf, and did Gale sparkle a lot?
He may as well have.
Yeah, he really may as well have. With the way they portrayed Gale.
Pretty boy.
There is definitely a shirtless scene with him, but it's not sexy. He gets lashings.
Ouch. Oh, that was in the second one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in the second one.
Yeah, not very bloody. Not that, I didn't go to that movie wanting blood, but everybody wants to see a little bit of red.
We've gotten used to the Tarantino style action film. We can't really tolerate unless there's at least 80 buckets of blood in a movie.
Oh my God, can you imagine if that movie was made by Tarantino?
No, I can't.
Tarantino presents The Hunger Games.
There'd been a lot more cussing, I'd imagine.
Antonio Banderas would have been.
Can you do that whistle? Can you do that whistle real quick?
Ooh, that was good. What? Oh.
The bird. Can you imagine the bird?
Yeah. Hunger Games, excellent.
One of the best things to come out of the Hunger Games was the parody version. I'm trying to look up the name, but it's hilarious. Damn it.
You're not talking about the movie, are you?
No, the movie was awful.
Oh, okay, good.
There's a Hunger Games parody book that's really good.
There's a parody where it's like a girl dressed up like Effie, and she keeps trying to say people's names, but they're like really like weird sounding. She can't pronounce them.
Okay, that sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
Here it is, The Hunger Pains by the Harvard Lampoon.
Now, can you read it without reading The Hunger Games, or is it advisable that you read The Hunger Games first?
Definitely read The Hunger Games first. And instead of her name being Katniss, it's Can't Kiss.
Cat kiss.
Can't Kiss, Never Clean, I think. That might be from a different one, actually, but it's too funny. Oh, I love the reviews on Amazon. The Hunger Pains really struck a chord with me. The writer is Can't Kiss. This book makes me wish I'd never been shot. Abraham Lincoln.
Well, Jazlaan, you're the only one among us who's actually completely familiar with the Hunger Games and Battle Royale. So why don't you do a comparison for us before we launch into discussing Battle Royale?
So, in the universe of Battle Royale, every school year... Well, this is different. Okay, so Battle Royale, there's a manga version, there's a movie version, and there's a book version.
What's the original?
The original is the book.
Okay.
From there, they made the, I want to say movie, and then they made the manga. So let's start in the, I wish I could remember which one does. I think the book does it, where every year multiple classes are taken, and
Yes.
they're put on desert islands or desert maps. Right? You've read the book, Madeline, you know.
Yeah, the book goes way more in depth on those things.
Right. In the movie version, it's one class a year, and in the manga version, it's one class a year, and it's actually a reality TV show, which was weird. And then I think that premise got dropped halfway through the manga, so the cameras like started to disappear and stuff. Don't quote me on that though. But so each year, one class or a few is selected to go to this desert island, and they have to kill each other, and the last remaining student gets to go home, and they also get all this money. So there's a comparison of the Hunger Games, but it's different because all these kids know each other, unlike in the Hunger Games where it's only two.
And didn't they pretty much grow up together?
Yes, in Japanese school system, basically the classes stay together for long periods of time, so they knew each other for many, many, many years.
So is there like alliances before it even happened? Like
Yes.
before they went and okay.
Absolutely, there is, and have you seen? What have you seen, Julianne? None of it?
I haven't seen any of it. I was gonna watch it today, but
Oh, okay. Chris, have you seen any of it?
I haven't. I was going to watch it with Julianne.
he got out of work late.
And Madeline, she's seen the movie and read the book.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't want to spoil it for you because the first time I saw the movie was with my stepsister, and she was like, "Hey, let's watch this. It's really good. You'll love it." And I was like, "What's it about?" And she's like, "Kids killing each other." And I'm like, "Okay, that sounds kind of dumb." And we started watching it, and I've never had this feeling before, but my stomach hurt so bad watching this movie because I
Did
just
you
felt
eat some bad burritos?
It's like it
No.
pulled your heartstrings and
Yes,
forced them into
it
the pit
wasn't
of your
burritos. It was heartstrings.
stomach.
It's just so dramatic to see these kids who have grown up with each other forced into this situation, and you just watch them slowly kill each other. And at the time, I was a high school student getting ready to graduate, so I'm going through the whole saying goodbye to everybody, and everyone's moving on, and so it was really emotional. You guys need to watch the movie before we do this podcast because holy shit.
Well, they really effectively developed like all these multiple relationships in a relatively short film without getting you confused.
In the film, they do a good job of showing snippets of the characters.
Yeah.
But in the book, every character has a chapter or two devoted to them, and you really get to know each character. And you can sit there and say, my favorite character is this one, and she might have died, second or third in the entire book. But because you got a little taste of her personality, you can like her and say that she's your favorite character,
I feel like that was a spoiler.
Yes, a girl does die first or second.
As opposed to a boy.
Are they in their
Yeah.
school uniforms?
Yes, the
Yes.
entire time.
Well, they were actually what happens is that they think they're on a field trip and then they all get drugged on the bus and they wake up on the island.
So they're on like a tropical island, or is it? Because I feel like on the cover, I feel like I've seen pictures of it or something, and I feel like I see a building.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Japanese
There is a building
island.
on the island, but everyone takes place in different spots, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, and this one just happens to be on an island.
Yeah.
And
So-
interestingly, they they take all the people that live on the island off. So all these kids will like find houses filled with things that, because people live there.
Oh, that's cool. Because I was like, how long does it go on for? Does it go on for weeks?
3
or-
days.
3 days. And every at the end of the 3 days, if anyone other than one person is alive, then the collars that are around their neck will blow up and kill them all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also if they're in the danger zones, if they step out of the boundaries of the island.
Every hour, one area on the map, it's like a checkered board, will turn into a danger zone, and then their collar will also explode. So this forces them to keep moving, and then it forces them to kill each other. So
Yeah, and also they have microphones on their neck bombs, so if they do something that maybe the people in control don't like, they can just set them off. Yeah.
So what's the motivation?
Money?
Population control.
Okay. So that's what I'm curious
Oh,
about.
okay.
yeah,
Why
if you just have time to watch the first like 3 minutes of the film, they say it's playing like really classical music, and it's saying like, oh, the entire Japanese population has been decimated, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
it gives you a reason before it even starts.
Man, I gotta say, in the opening, there's this video they all have to watch, this, like, tutorial video that's so upsetting how fucking cheerful this Japanese woman is describing everything to them, to these children who are about to die.
Chad.
It's a really good movie. You guys need to watch it.
Now, yeah, there are a few things in the book that I really don't know how they could have honestly translated them into the movie, but I really wish they could have. There's a psychopath or sociopath in the story with the crazy hair. You remember him, Jazlaan?
Okay, this is a major change from book to movie. In the book, he's one of the classmates, and so is Shogo. There's Shogo, and I think his name's what? What is his name? Kyo? No. What is it?
I think it is Kyo.
Is it Kyo?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. Because I don't want to say, because it's supposed to be a really common name.
Yeah.
but I
Well,
can't-
while he looks up the names of the two characters, I'll just say this. There's a backstory to both of them, mostly the other one that we don't remember the name of right now, in the book.
Can we call him
And-
Charles?
We'll just call him
Charles.
And in the movie, they just make him as a random transfer. They don't give you his backstory at all. He never talks, nothing. And he's got a pretty in-depth story in the book.
Yeah, didn't he get like in a car accident or something that messed up his brain, and so he
Yeah.
couldn't feel emotion anymore?
Yeah, when his mom was pregnant with him, she got into a car accident and like a little sliver of glass got inside his skull.
Ah.
So like, it wasn't only that he couldn't feel emotion, it's just that when he should have felt emotion, when his brain was trying to tell him to feel emotion, he'd get headaches. So when he just like blithely just kills his best friend in cold blood, he gets a headache, and that's it.
That sounds awesome.
I can't remember which version it is that he does, because I think he's different in all three versions. But in one version, he's actually very calm about it, and so my alarm's going off because I have to go get my clothes out of the washing machine. He goes, you know what? This is a game, and either I'm gonna die or I'm gonna live, and so I'm gonna decide right now if I play the game to win or if I die. So he flips a coin, and
Yeah,
it
that's
gets
the
on
book.
heads. Okay, that's the book. Okay, yeah. So he flips a coin, and that's why he plays the game, because it lands on heads. That's the only reason.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
But in the movie, he's there because he wants to participate. He wants to kill all these people.
Yeah. In the movie, he's just kind of a killing machine with no backstory. Which is fine, because they have plenty of characters to give you stories, too. Anyway,
Kazuo, Kyojinai, not Kyo, Kazuo.
Kazuo.
Yeah, they call him Kiriyama. That's his last name most of the book, though, I think.
Yeah. Jazlaan, you go get your clothes, and I'm going to tell them some stories.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, I think I found the book online.
Yeah. Jazlaan forced me to read the book in high school, by the way.
I can hear you, bitch!
keep that in?
No, seriously, he did. He loaned it to me. And I was like, yeah, I'll read it. I'll read it. I'll read it. And I just left it in my room for weeks. And then finally he was like, if you don't read it this week, I'm taking it back. And I was like, fine, I'll read it. And so I opened the book up, and I pretty much read it over the course of a few days. And when my favorite character died, I called him up, and I just screamed that character's name over the phone. I just like, screamed it over and over again.
Does he still have the book?
He does.
Oh, he can let me borrow it.
I think
So
he
I don't
does.
have to pay a bunch of money to buy
They had
it?
it for $13.
Where? Where do you see 13?
You went to the first selection, didn't even bother to keep looking.
And my emotional tie to this character was so strong. That's why I could never get myself to read The Hunger Games, because I'd be like, it's not going to be able to make me feel the same way about these characters that I felt about Battle Royale.
Yeah, she called screaming that character's name. It's a girl character, not a boy character. And my
thank you.
oh, sorry, did I spoil it again? And basically my mom was like looking at me like, "Oh my God, what happened? Is she okay?" It was pretty funny. I actually had do you know what Beyond is, Julianne?
Beyond?
Uh-huh.
No.
It's a 2D online gaming application, I guess you want to program.
It's an online RPG community.
Yes, and funny fact, Madeline and I both grew up in the exact same city and both played on that game and probably met multiple times before we became friends in real life.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's really
Well,
weird.
basically, I was going through the development of a battle royale game on there. I didn't get very far into it. I had the map made, I had two characters made, and they could run around and punch each other and kill each other. But I didn't implement any weapons or anything like that. Hunger Games games on Minecraft are popular because they should be battle royale games, not Hunger Games.
So you feel that they're both distinctly different enough to not really...
I want to say that they're distinct enough to not be the same, but unfortunately, no one in Hollywood agrees because now they refuse to remake the battle royale movies.
Oh, those motherfuckers.
That's actually
Yeah.
probably a good thing. Let's
It
be
is.
honest.
Yeah, they'll lose money now because if they do it, everyone will just think they're Hunger Game ripoffs, even though they're not.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think it would translate too well to the American culture anyway. There's a lot of Japanese cultural stuff in that story.
The only thing that they have to change is that instead of it being middle school students, they're changing it to high school students trying to graduate high school.
Mm.
If they just change that, I think it'd be fine. Other than, yeah, you're right. You know, we don't go to school with each other the whole time, but they could work around that.
I guess they could take kids from small towns or something.
That's
Maybe.
boring.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I was friends with most of my high school class, and I wasn't that popular. I mean, yeah, sure, there are people I don't know, but how big was the graduating class at Roosevelt?
Yes, but you were a mean girl. You had to have lots of friends.
I was not a mean girl. And even if I wasn't a mean girl, you know, okay, you know what? They could do it instead. They could take maybe. No, that wouldn't work. Maybe. I know what they could do for American audiences. Someone
Boobs?
asked me what. Well, yes, there'd be lots of boobs. No, instead they could do maybe the football team going to their game and the marching band with them. That way they're not all.
Aw.
What? Everyone
That's
did
not-
that in high school, right?
That would be kind of awesome, actually.
See, it'd be the football players, it'd be band members, it'd be everybody.
Oh, and the cheerleaders?
Yeah, and there would be cheerleaders, there'd be the
That's not-
mean girls, the band geeks, the jocks, there'd be everybody.
This sounds like a comedy, actually.
Well, that's true too. Y'all need to watch it.
Yeah, I actually was just thinking I really want to watch it. Maybe we should watch it tonight. I want to read the book too.
Yeah,
so-
The
don't
book's
watch part
really
2.
good. Yeah, you haven't seen it yet, Madeline.
Yes, but you
I told you it was bad. Yeah, the second one they changed it to where instead of everyone having one collar, well, everyone still has one collar because that would just look ridiculous. But they're radioed together so that they're partners. So if your partner dies, you die as well.
That's cool.
It sounded cooler when you read about it, but then actually watching it, it's kind of stupid because the entire cast dies like instantly. Spoiler alert!
You're fine watching the movie and then reading the book because they're both really good.
Yeah, I watched the movie first and then the book and loved it, loved it, loved it. And I've read, I think, 4 or 5 of the mangas and they're pretty good too.
And I read the book before I watched the movie.
Ooh.
But that's only because he loaned me the book before he loaned me the movie.
And then she dropped it and somebody stomped all over
And
it.
I bought you a new damn copy.
Yes, but it's less dramatic to include that part. I really want a pizza.
Don't walk and read, kids.
Chris needs to talk about Future Diary now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we should co-op that.
You want to co-op it?
You
Tag
love
team it.
I do. It's my favorite anime.
Mhm.
So what is it called?
Future Diary.
Or by its Japanese name.
Mirai Nikki.
Meet Kadakimasu.
It's on Hulu.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's on Hulu, so you can just watch it on there, and it's really awesome. I really love it, and yeah. So it's do you want to start off explaining what it is?
I will explain the plot. A boy has an imaginary friend who is God. Basically, he's the god of time. They're BFFs for some reason. Don't ask me why. And it actually turns out that it's not an imaginary friend. The god is actually real, and he's decided to hold an event to make the basically
He's
make
dying.
an heir. Yeah, he's dying, so he's decided to make a game to make an heir for himself. So he grabs 12 people and decides to launch them into a game to kill each other. And they are compelled to do so because, first off, the idea of being God. Second off, they're given these diaries that can tell the future, but in different ways. That way, none of them have a complete advantage over each other.
Couldn't you
Yeah.
just have given them a written exam?
Yeah, like each diary is different. Like, for example, the main character, what he does is he documents everything going on around him. Right? And then another person, she is like, I think she's a thief? No, she's a terrorist.
Yeah.
She's a terrorist. And what she always used to document before, because it's like they had these diaries before they were given the Future Diaries. And she would always document all of her escape plans. So, like, at one point, she's trying to get away from something, and she just read her diary on how to escape. Train. That's her escaping right now.
Yeah. So, was the imaginary friend of his the imaginary friend of all of these people?
They didn't know him, I think, as well as he does. They just happened to be kind of picked up and brought in.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and so the main character and all these. The great thing about it is that's actually different from the Hunger Games and Battle Royale is that they're trying to live their day-to-day lives.
While the game's going on?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
so he's like for a little while, in the beginning it's this main guy and he's probably 14, 16.
Yeah, like 14 or 15.
He's really young. And one of his classmates, they're both in the games together and they decide to work together. And the fantastic thing about her is that she is obsessively in love with him to the point where
it's fucking scary.
Yeah, she's terrifying. Like there is something mentally wrong with her. And like she just pretty much kills everyone for him.
She
That's nice.
she justifies the killing because she's protecting him.
But she's part of the game too?
Yeah.
Yeah. And her diary is completely all about his movements.
Everything he does. It's basically a stalker's diary about him.
6:30 a.m. He brushed his teeth.
More detailed, actually.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She knows like all of his movements, and he when he finds out she's crazy, he tries to get away with her, but the problem is she always protects him, and he's a coward.
She always knows how to find him.
Yeah.
So like any average Japanese housewife.
There's a term for it, but I can't remember what it's called. It's like a term for a girl that's like, or anyone that's really, really obsessively in love, and they'll kill other people that go near their love interest. I can't remember what it's called.
Some of these people aren't even threats to him. She just wants to be his main focus.
Yeah.
What is she gonna do when the game's almost over and it's down to just the two of them?
That's the question.
That is the question.
Oh, we're not that far yet, or you're not gonna spoil it for me?
I'm not gonna. I don't think should we spoil it?
I don't know. Does he want us to spoil it?
Are you guys gonna?
Yes, I want you to. I might watch it.
Okay,
It sounds interesting.
Let's give a warning. Let's give a warning. Again, this whole episode is chock full of spoilers. So,
No, it's like my favorite.
It's a pretty cool spoiler.
It's only one season long, but anyways, what you end up finding out about her is anyway, at one point he goes to her house and it's completely like it looks like a murder scene.
Turns out murder took place there.
Yeah. Turns out she had actually won the games before.
Ooh.
And she created an alternate universe so she could always be with him.
She basically was reliving the exact same. She went back. Created this new universe, found herself, killed herself,
took her place,
took her own place,
killed her parents, and this was her third time going through it.
Well, does he like die at the end or something? Is that why she keeps leaving? Or
what happens is sometimes if you do something different, your diary will change the future, and he changed the future, and he found out what she was doing.
Yeah, the original plan was for them to kill themselves together, but she's so goddamn crazy that wasn't cool with her. She wanted to be with him alive, so she doesn't kill herself when they kill themselves together.
She pretends, and then she finds out she can't bring him back to life, so she plays the games. She creates a new universe so she can play the games again.
Forever and ever to be with him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's some deep shit.
It was sad.
I'm glad it's only one season, though, because that would have ruined it if it had been more than one season.
Well, it's actually infinite seasons.
Yeah, exactly. So see, that's why.
Kind of like how Big O ended in a full circle.
You get an ending. Like, she doesn't win the games the third time.
If you watch it, for the love of God, there's an OVA you need to watch.
Watch the OVA, or else you're just crying.
You'll be like, sucks.
What's an OVA?
It's an original video animation. It's basically an extra that they had to do. That wasn't part of the original series.
OVA is pretty much always going to be the more lighthearted version, condensed version of an anime.
And it just is like, it just wraps things up.
It wraps things up really nicely.
Yeah, that's a really great. Oh, I love it. Just because she's super crazy, and I love her character.
And I like.
She's a likable character then.
Chris, do you feel uncomfortable when you watch this with Julianne?
She's my favorite character.
She is, and a lot of people are like, "There's no character development." It's like, there's not supposed to be character development. She's like a fucking crazy girl.
She's fucking batshit crazy. You can't develop batshit crazy.
Sorry.
So many scumbag characters.
I love all the other diary holders. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're called diary holders. How many are there?
12.
12. Oh, it's kind of tiny game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like, it's all in one city.
Yeah.
And some Japan.
And how many is it in in Hunger Games? 24?
24.
24. And then it's is it 42, Madeline?
Yes.
In Battle Royale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like when they kill them in Battle Royale, they kill them off at 5, 6, 7 people at a time. So
because of the cliques that form and they're all together.
Yeah.
That actually sounds good. I just ordered a pizza and I might watch an episode of it.
You should. It's really good.
It's
my favorite. It's like one of my favorite stories ever. Some people don't like it, but
that anime, that's when I watching and reading this one. I actually read it originally. I didn't realize anime could be that dark until I started watching this one.
Have you seen Akira?
Okay, to be fair, I never watched Akira.
You should watch Akira.
I want to, but
yes, we should all watch Akira.
Akira, are you happy?
Yeah. Yes.
How do you say botanical gardens? Don't you say it funny? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Botanical garden?
Botanical garden?
No, it's somebody else. Never mind.
What?
Botanical did you?
Oh. It's a Saturday Night Live joke.
It's about this otaku group who think they're really Japanese.
Oh no.
It's terrible.
Painful. There's a subreddit called Weeaboo Tales.
Oh god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did y'all ever see that news thing, that local news thing they did in San Antonio with the kids who thought they were werewolves?
Yeah, I've watched the video on that. Oh, cringe.
He killed himself. You know that, right?
Yeah, he pretty much, after that thing went viral, he got bullied and...
That's sad.
I was gonna say something. What did you say right before that? The weeaboo things. There was this one girl that stabbed another girl in a leg because she was in a wheelchair. Did y'all read?
What?
Yeah, it was really intense.
Man, I am glad I did not buy one of those tales when I went to Ushicon back in 06.
Should have bought it. Well, you can still buy them. You can
so
still do it. Go do it, Madeline.
No, but I've gone on a completely different path in my life, Julianne.
They only have 4 episodes on, they have subtitled versions, I see. Oh, so they only have 4 episodes on Hulu.
What?
They have 4 dubbed, and then they have the rest of
Oh, yeah, I don't watch the dub. There's also, oddly enough, for Future Diary, there's also a, I forgot what they're called, a drama.
a live action.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Is it this one, Another World?
No, I think it's actually just called Future Diary.
Yeah. There's a live action adaptation. It's just
there's
bad.
one on Netflix. Oh wow, a Japanese drama on Hulu. That's amazing.
I'm really iffy about those Japanese dramas. They're hard to watch for me.
I'm with you.
I watched one. I watched one and I liked it. I liked Boys Over Flowers.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Anador Yanga. I think that's one.
Yeah.
I think it's just the cameras they use, the style. Boys Over Flowers. Are you sure that's Japanese? I think that's Korean.
No, there's two of them. There's the Korean and the Japanese one.
The Korean one is better.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And the anime is not that great because it's like an old 80s anime, so.
Gosh, there's a lot of episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, never mind. It's like different dramas put together.
Well, no, it's like really long. It's really long.
25? That's not that bad. But there's another one on here called East of Eden with 56 episodes.
East of Eden, that sounds familiar.
Wait a minute. I think I've heard of that. A live action?
I just clicked on the show that you said. The future one. Yeah. And then I typed Boys Over Flowers and it brought up the search results and it's showing a whole bunch of Korean dramas.
Oh yeah, I know that there's the Korean one. But yeah, you should definitely eat some pizza and watch some Future Diary. It's good. It's good.
You should watch Battle Royale and
fan of the y'all should definitely watch Battle Royale.
Oh, we're probably gonna watch that like tomorrow.
Yep. Well,
watch it tonight.
You pull out the remote for their neck bomb.
And then Madeline has cute little pigtails, and she's like, "Turn on your TV."
Anything else we want to talk about as far as?
I would say Adolescent Blood Sport is an up-and-coming genre.
There's Maze Runner that just came out in movie theaters. I read the Wikipedia synopsis. Sounds stupid.
I thought it looked interesting.
Yeah, I thought it looked interesting too. That's why I read the synopsis on Wikipedia.
I think people are only going to see it for Styles from Teen Wolf.
Oh, that's where he's from. Huh.
Madeline just admitting that she watches Teen Wolf.
I watched it until the last season where it got really stupid and they killed my favorite character, so.
Oh. And there's another one that just came out called Divergent.
Oh yeah. I have that book. I need to read it.
I read all three in like a week.
It's supposed to be pretty good.
The first book was really good. The second book was okay. And the last book, she kind of like, oh shit, I need to write a third book? Okay. She just slammed her face on the keyboard a couple of times.
Wait, is that about people? Is that the same thing as some sort of game where people are killing each other? I thought it was more like dystopic society.
No, but it is a dystopia, blood splatter, teenagery, whatever y'all said it was called.
Adolescent Blood Sport.
Yes. It also has a sorting ceremony like in Harry Potter.
The hat there?
Instead of hats, they're bowls filled with
noodles,
rocks, glass, water, coals, and something else.
And noodles?
Yes, noodles. That's the Asian class.
For some reason, that just made me think of Cabin in the Woods when they did the frog thing.
Frog thing?
All the Japanese girls in the class.
Oh, yeah. Aw. I loved that movie.
All right, guys. I guess it's time to mention my blog, Hallow-Holic.blogspot.com. You can also find it on Hallow-Holic.wordpress.com. I mention our podcast there several times. I also share vintage comics, and I talk about movies. Julianne, would you like to mention... Actually, Jazlaan, guest star, would you like to mention our Twitter?
Not really. We also...
Julianne mentioned the Twitter.
Damn it.
All right, we have a Twitter. We're at Hallow-Holics. I tweet out whenever we're doing an episode, tell you what we're about, what are the episodes about, and if you want us to mention anything during the podcast, we will definitely mention it.
Jazlaan, do you have anything to add?
I went poopy.
And if you're looking for other intellectually stimulating podcasts such as this, I suggest checking out Sawbones, Horror ETC, that's Horror Etc., or even a new one on our lineup, the Directors Club podcast, which focuses on different episodes about different directors.
All right, well, guys, hey, what's that beeping sound? What do you mean this is a danger zone?